pretty warm today, so we decided to come to Camp KAINOMAYAN. Pretty nice place. Over here at the villas, they actually have a nice little waterfall. Clear river, nice cool water coming from Mount Pinatubo. Zephyr, are you on a waterfall?
Hello guys.
Pretty slippery on these rocks. It's a weekday right now, but this place fills up on the weekend. But I wanted to talk about foreigners when they make these vlogs, and I saw a headline on a video: "This is the best beach in the Philippines." Okay, if you've only been to one restaurant in town and you call it the best restaurant in town, how do you know it's the best restaurant in town if you've only been to one restaurant? But I find it funny. I like a lot of the vlogs that are Filipinos and the ones that speak English. I have no excuse that I haven't learned Tagalog. I did buy an app and I need to start learning, but I think it would unlock, you know, next level Philippines if you know Tagalog. Not if you're in Cebu or something, but then learn Cebuano. But the longer I stay here, we've been here almost 4 months, the longer I stay here, the harder it is to go back to America. Not that I don't love my home country. I love America, but I absolutely love this country. Philippines is such a wonderful place to live. In my opinion, Zambales. I think Zambales is one of the best places in the Philippines. And that goes back to, is this the best beach? Well, I haven't been to every place in the Philippines, but it's a safe place to live. It's close to Manila. It's close to Clark Airport. You got lots of good beaches. And if you want to go to world-class beaches, like I said, you can go to Clark Airport and you can go to the Palawan. And as far as best beaches in the Philippines, I've been looking at Google, and I think the southern tip of Palawan, I'm not sure how you say it, Balabac? I think it's Balabac or Balabac, but it's on the southern tip of Palawan, and it looks absolutely breathtaking. It's primitive, camps, you have to camp when you're there, but this river is really nice and cold. I recommend coming here on a weekday. Weekend is just a lot of people having family time, having some beers. And Philippines is not without its challenges, but I find life here wonderful. The main challenge when going into town is just being, you know, noticed so much, but once you get over that, it's really, when it comes down to going into town, some of the negatives are the beggars, and I don't experience this that much, but it's I don't mind helping people out. It's these beggars that have these coordinated begging efforts. That's one downfall in some areas that you go. They have these coordinated begging efforts where you have like a couple women, and it's almost never men. I personally have never seen men begging very often. A couple times. It's usually women with children, and they send these kids, and they're all together. I'm not sure if they're from the same barangay, but I've noticed that they're all coordinated. And then if you give them money, which you're not supposed to, I told my wife, I said we should just be prepared with, like, you know, some items, maybe you know, toothbrush, toothpaste, some random items in a bag or something to give to the beggars. And it doesn't happen very often. In Manila it does, but here in the provinces it doesn't happen that much. Here in BOTOLAN, they're building a road right here out on this road frontage out here near KAINOMAYAN and BOTOLAN. They're connecting this road all the way to TARLAC, so it's gonna streamline being able to commute to Clark Airport. It's gonna be very quick to get to Angeles City, and it's basically connecting Zambales with a much more streamlined highway system. I'm spending billions of pesos on it. And I have a career where I can be a digital nomad, but my personal observation is if you can, don't be a digital nomad. Just make your money in America and come over here and spend your time and enjoy it. What you're gonna end up doing is you're gonna bring that anxiety and that stress and that rat race over here to the Philippines, and you're just gonna let that shit follow you. And I have a career where I can be a digital nomad, and I have been working a little bit remotely, part-time, and it's just, you're dragging that rat race culture into the Philippines. I'm not saying don't make money, but the way I look at this is just get on that airplane, go back, hustle up your money and come back. The digital nomad thing, and don't even ever count on the YouTube gig. Hey buddy, how's it going? There's no people here today. The reason why I don't carry a camera around and stuff it in people's faces to have a clickbait channel or have some cool content, because I think it's just disingenuous. You're taking what you could have had as a cool conversation and just turning it into a profit-driven. I'm not monetized, and I probably won't even apply for it, but you're just taking what could have been a genuine conversation. Because I meet so many cool people, and I'll tell you, the kids in this country, they are freaking awesome. They treat you like a celebrity just because they're studying English and they want to talk to you. And the kids are just so friendly here. Everybody's friendly, but in particular the kids, they are awesome. They are always super friendly, and it's just a treat to be able to come here and be here. I have not applied for my 13A, and I'm gonna do that, the spousal visa, but I get a year on the Balikbayan, so I just have that for now. I'm all set to go back next month back to America, and it's like pulling teeth to get me on that plane. I am really dreading this. I just love this paradise. I do not want to go back to America, but the thing is, you have to make some sacrifices because there's things I want to do. I want to build a block wall. I would like to save some more money to be able to travel around the Philippines, especially Balabac, the southern tip of Palawan. That's one of the number ones on my spot. Balabac, however you say it. Again, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Palawan's pretty awesome. I would like to go to Quran, but I'm more interested in checking out that Balabac place first. And there's just things I want to do. That's why I want to go back and make some money, but it's really hard to leave this place. Once you spend a significant amount of time here and you like it here, you'll understand what I mean. Even these newer GoPros, they still overheat. This is a GoPro 12. Yeah, I think they have the 13 now, but it's you spend so much for these cameras and they still overheat. So don't buy a GoPro 12. Maybe the 13's better. The 11 I know had complaints about overheating, but don't buy these 12s. They're not any better. This place has a pool, so the kids are going up with their Tito to go check out the pool. Don't leave you here? She doesn't want to be left here alone. I thought about putting some banana trees on our property, but I don't think they look that appealing. I do want some fruit trees though. Yeah, they don't look very good. So I don't think we'll put any banana trees. Maybe you guys got some recommendations. Some Filipinos on here, maybe they got some recommendations. I want some shaded trees, but not ones that are gonna uplift and uproot a block wall. You know, like a mango trees, they grow gigantic. And I want one that it's gonna lift up a fence. Today's lunch is MANG INASAL, and the treat is Don Benito's Pichi. Pretty good. It's a good treat. They didn't give us any sinigang soup though. It's supposed to come with sinigang soup. Filipinos are happier than Americans, and I can tell you this because I've observed almost no road rage here. One time, about 10 years ago, yeah, it was 10 years ago, on Victory Liner, the bus driver was all pissed off screaming at somebody. That's the only time in the last 10 years that I've come here that I've ever seen road rage. And it was probably on the Victory Liner because those guys are not the friendliest drivers per se. If you ever see those on the road, just get out of their way. But here, I have no problems driving here. You got to implement the honk method. I don't honk in America because I vowed to never road rage ever when I was younger. I just decided, why am I angry? This guy's just trying to get where he's going. So I haven't road raged in forever, but here you have to use the honk method. You know, if you're gonna pass somebody, you go meet me, and that just tells the other driver, hey, I'm coming around. Or you see somebody that's getting ready to pull out on the highway, you're gonna meet them. Well, you know, when I first got here, I'm like, I don't honk my horn. People get really pissed off in America, but here, you know, you're not mad, you're just honking your horn. But I just didn't honk my horn one time, and this lady just pulls straight out in front of me. So make sure you use the honk method. It's a good system. The system they have here works pretty good. The erratic tricycle drivers, will they'll pull off and, you know, swing around and cut out in the road. Yep, you got to meet them. They'll pull out right in front of you. So I wanted to say though, a little bit of a downfall in the Philippines, just very minor, but here they use these buckets. So you splash your ass with these buckets to clean, and then what happens is the water ends up all over the floor. So if you drop your pants after somebody cleaned their butthole, and their butthole water is all over there, and, you know, most of it goes in the toilet, but you gotta imagine some of the butthole water gets on the floor. But they got the sprayers too, which are nice. My wife had one of those installed in our house, which finally going to be done, I think mid-April. The can keeps getting kicked. It's just taken longer than expected, but not that huge of a deal. I would have liked it to be done on time. It should have been done by February, but it is what it is. They're finally wrapping things up. I think we got another 3 weeks left. They're at 90-some%. Looking forward to getting moved in. And if you guys are gonna build a house in the Philippines and you want to get started on it without being here, I'd strongly advise you either not to do that or to get your spouse's relative or whatever to go monitor and micromanage them the whole build. You will not regret it. The money you're gonna pay the family member to just micromanage the builder, because we were here most of our house build, and yet there was still some mistakes. Not structural mistakes, but they put the footing in the wrong spot, which tweaked the walls a little bit in a couple spots and made them basically out of square. We remedied it by just changing, instead of straight tiles, we diamonded them, so that way it's not noticeable. You guys probably wouldn't notice it if I took a video there, but it's gonna help just to keep somebody there at all times. And it's unfortunate that, you know, you gotta micromanage the contractors, but you know, they don't always hire the best foremen. We have a great foreman now, but he wasn't here earlier on in the build. He's awesome, really super knowledgeable, but you know, he's kind of having to remedy some mistakes that the prior foreman had. And you can build much cheaper, and I've said this, you can build single story and you can just hire out the work. And I just wouldn't advise not going the permitted route. If you're going single story, you could get away with not permitting, but I've said this before. A two-story, it's just a lot of liability to, you know, have somebody up on your roof and they fall off and, you know, get hurt or even die. That's just not something I'd want to deal with. And we wanted two-story because it's less lot space that it takes up, and there's a beautiful view. We have a gorgeous view. And I wanted a nice balcony that was towered over the property. That's just my thoughts, you guys. Have a wonderful time and have a great day.